exactly, all the Recording in progress.
What's this? You ready? Ready? Mishoreki. Yes.
Well, we got an agenda.
Meeting in progress? Good. Great. Good morning and welcome to this Tuesday, the 28th of May, 2024, our Weber County Commission meeting. We have a full quorum today with Commissioner Bullis seated to my right, Commissioner Forrest seated to my left. I'm Commissioner Harvey. We're glad that you're here. Those of you who chose to be here in attendance, those of you who are online, or those of you who might be listening at another time. Our Pledge of Allegiance this morning will be given by the incomparable Chad Meyerhofer, this guy, stirring. And then we'll have an invocation today by Marty Smith. And since Mr. Grover's not here, then I'll give the thought of the day. Go to that point, Mr. Meyerhofer.
Repeat after me.
Our Father in heaven, we're grateful that we can gather here in this commission meeting today. We're thankful for this wonderful community in which we live, for our liberties and the blessings that we have and our freedoms. We're thankful for this commission body, and we ask blessing on them as they make the best decisions for this county, and especially thankful for the great employees in this county and all the hard work they do. For this Memorial Day weekend, we've had to celebrate and honor those which we have lost. We're especially thankful for the rain we received. We ask a blessing. We can go out our day and be as effective as possible as employees and workers in the county. And we ask these things in Jesus' holy name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Mr. Smith. Mr. Meyerhofer, appreciate that. You know, commissioners, my thought of the day is really rather simple. I've got to tell you how grateful I am to be amongst people who care so much about doing the right thing or doing something good. At every turn, I'm going to call it a tender mercy. At every turn, over the last couple of weeks, I've run into people that were somehow, or by coincidence, or by happenstance, or were placed there, and they were kind and nice and helpful, and not everything always goes the way that you hope it does. Things happen, people die, people get in car accidents, people get sick, but there are kind people along the way that help you through those circumstances that make things just a little easier. And you know, one of the things that I love so much about coming to work, our environment, is we're surrounded by those types of people who genuinely care and who do things because they like people, because they like feeling good. And my thought of the day is, you know, we have a lot of choices. We're lucky. I felt so privileged to be able to marvel at the beauty of cemeteries yesterday. To be able to go and pay tribute to not just family, but those who've paid the ultimate price, so that we have the freedoms to be able to do those kind of things, to be able to drive to there without duress, to be able to just be there and remember. And I'm so grateful for those freedoms and the thoughtfulness that went into that, not just by those who did pay the ultimate price, but especially the family members that were left behind, that cared enough and to perpetuate good and to do well. And so my thought today is just on gratitude and thankful for those who have chosen the better way, the kinder way. Those are my thoughts for today. Any rebuttal?
No, great thought, but I would like a personal privilege,
Please,
Mr. Chair,
yeah.
if you would so grant that to me.
Well, cautiously, I will.
Okay, well, should be. Well, I just wanted to take this opportunity. This is an important day. May 28th, and some 50 plus years ago.
Many pluses.
Yeah, I won't, a lot younger than I remember, but a young man was welcomed to this world by the name of little Jimmy Harvey. And since his inception in this world, he's done great things for his community, for his family, for his church, a lot of different things. So I think I'd like to take this opportunity as a personal privilege and make sure we have a rounding rendition of Happy Birthday to little Jimmy Harvey, Commissioner Harvey, if that would be okay. Well, I'm not going to say it's okay because that's my privilege.
If you'd lead out, that'd be okay.
All right, please join us, those in the audience, for that rendition of Happy Birthday. Ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jimmy. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you so much.
my personal
Boy,
privilege.
That's great. Thank you for your kindness. And the embarrassment. That's okay. Great. Well, item E is the public comments. Items related to the agenda are welcome for 3 minutes. Those of you who would like to come forward. Any in the audience? Any online, Stacy? Great. Those of you in the future can leave your comments underneath the video. We'll look at them later. I'll move to the consent items, Commissioners. Item number 1 is a request for approval of ratification of warrants 101-905 through and including 101-949 and 484-202 through and including 484-371 and 360 in the amount of $3,939,442.95 dated the 21st of May, 2024. Item 2 is a request for approval of warrants 101-950 through and including 102-083 and 434-372 through and including 484-544 in the amount of $2,605,701.02. Item 3 is a request for approval to ratify purchase orders in the amount of $424,697.10 dated May 21st, 2024. And item 4 is a request for approval of the purchase orders in the amount of $38,729.91. Then the other, item 5, is a summary of warrants and purchase orders. We'll go to item number 5 with our great Ricky Hatch. Go ahead with the explanation if you could, please.
Thank you, Mr. Birthday Chair. We had 2 weeks worth of purchase orders and warrant registers, so I'll go with the previous week first. We issued 11 purchase orders for $425,000. 70% of that amount, or $298,000, is for the roads department, and that is for the Highway 162 mill and overlay. 16%, or $67,000, is for the conference center, and that is for contract labor. And then 10%, or $41,000, is for the health department to purchase vaccines. Still with the previous week, we issued 216 warrants for $3.9 million. 31% of that amount, or $1.2 million, were various ramp awards distributed through the county. 28%, or $1.1 million, went towards employee medical insurance, and 22%, or $862,000, went towards the conference center remodel. For this week, we issued 6 purchase orders for $39,000. Just over half that amount, or $21,000, was for the ice sheet to purchase flooring. We issued 307 warrants for $2.6 million. 40% of that amount, or $1 million, was corridor preservation related to the Pioneer Road in Marriott-Slaterville. 17%, or $432,000, was for the jail, and that went mostly to inmate healthcare services, but also to food and utilities. 11%, or $275,000, was our payment for paramedic services, and 10%, or $264,000, was the pass-through housing payments for Weber Housing Authority.
Any questions on detail, Commissioners?
None from me.
None for me.
I'll continue on then with item 6, which is a request for approval of minutes for the meeting held on May 14th, 2024. Item 7, a request for approval of a new beer license. And item 8 is a request for approval of new business licenses. Item 9 is a request for approval of the Weber County Policy 4-100 Audit Committee. Item 10, a request for the Weber Morgan Health Department for approval to surplus a 2009 MDX Acura. Item 11 is a request for Weber County Operations for approval to surplus a 2015 F-150. Item 12, request for approval of the master engagement letter for eminent domain representing the Fabian Van Cott Law Firm. Item 13 is a request from the Weber County Tax Review Committee for approval to purchase $58.39 to Eric Fausel and Elizabeth L. Ramirez, parcel 03-1935. Item 14 is a request for the Deputy Sheriff's Basic Training Reimbursement Agreements by and between Carter Altum, Julian Pfaff, Rockwell Strunk, Corey Walker, and Ty Hill. Item 15 is a request for approval of the State Utah Court Security Contract 152211, Amendment Number 9 with the Weber County Sheriff's Office, providing the State of Utah Administrative Office for the courts with perimeter, building security, and bailiff services to the Ogden 2nd District Courthouse and the 2nd District Juvenile Courthouse. And finally, item 16 is a request for approval of the right-of-way contract by and between Weber County and Thomas Parker to widen 1800 South at the southwest corner of 3500 West. Commissioners, questions on any of the items F1 through and including 16? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion.
Move to approve consent items F1 through 16.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for those consent items. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Great. We'll now move on to item number G, which are the action items for today's agenda. First action item, Mr. Collier, thank you for making your way to the lectern, is a request for approval of the final reading of an ordinance, Weber County amending section 16, 2, and 12, surveyor office fees for the portions of Title 45 surveying, add survey monuments to the Weber County Code of Ordinances. Mr. Collier, go ahead, please.
Thank you, Commissioners. So this is a very minor procedural adjustment to survey codes to better match up with the ever-changing, it seems, state code. So essentially the changes being made is it eliminates some requirements that we have had in the past for filed survey fees or filed records of survey, some of the content on them, and it changes the name of one fee that the office provides. Pretty minor adjustment just to better match up with state code and standards of the surveying profession.
Very good. Questions, Commissioners?
None for me.
No.
Great. Inasmuch as this is the final reading, this would be item G1, Ordinance 2024-12. I'll entertain a motion.
Move to approve ordinance 2024-12.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Roll call vote. Mr. Brandt?
Roll call vote for ordinance 2024-12. Commissioner Faur?
Aye.
Commissioner Bolos?
Aye.
Chair Harvey?
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item number 2 is a request for approval of the final reading of an ordinance amending the Weber County Code provisions that govern the Planning Commission, including adopting new rules of order of planning commissions. Mr. Grover, go ahead, sir.
Thank you, Commissioners. This ordinance will bring us into compliance with state code. At the present time, our Planning Commission is setting their rules of order. State code requires that the legislative body does that. So this is having you make those requirements of what their rules of orders are. So you're looking at the approval of the ordinance and then also the rules of order. This is the final reading.
Thank you. Commissioners, this final reading would be ordinance 2024-13. Any questions?
None for me. I'd happy to make a motion when you're ready.
Please.
I would move to approve ordinance 2024-13 as presented by Mr. Rick Grover.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Place that motion for vote. Mr. Brandt?
Roll call vote for ordinance 2024-13. Commissioner Faur?
Aye.
Commissioner Bolos?
Aye.
Chair Harvey?
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you. Item number 3 is a request for approval of a resolution of the County Commissioners of Weber County appointing members to the Nordic Valley Sewer Improvement District Board of Trustees. Our presenter today is Stacy Skeen. Ms. Skeen, thank you for joining us today. I understand we'll be doing some drawing out of a bowl.
Right.
Well, go ahead,
Good morning,
please.
Commissioners.
Good morning.
The Nordic Valley Sewer Improvement District has been in existence for a number of years. However, it hasn't been active for several. So I received notice to post for this board. So there are 3 vacancies. I received 3 applications that you have before you. They all meet the qualifications, And so I do need you to draw one name. The name that you draw would serve the 2-year term. The other 2 individuals would serve a 4-year term.
Great. Mr. Bowles, would you like to draw?
I can draw, sure. This is a 2-year term?
This is the 2-year term? 2-year term, Stacy?
Yes.
This one's Laurent P. Geoffrey.
Very good. So Laurent
So
Geoffrey,
that will expire when?
In 2026,
Okay.
and then Mr. Buchanan and Mr. Lewis would then expire in 2028.
yes.
Great. That would be resolution number 29-2024. Any other presentation, Ms. Skeen?
For
This
Liberty?
one?
Okay.
No, for
Oh.
Nordic Valley.
Do I have a presentation?
Do you have any other for your presentation? Thank you. Commissioners, I'll entertain a motion for approval of resolution 29-2024.
Motion to approve resolution 29-2024, appointing Laurent Geoffrey for a term expiring 12/31/26, Robert T. Behunin for a term expiring 12/31/2028, and John Lloyd Lewis for a term expiring 12/31/2028.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. I'll place that motion for vote. Mr. Brandt?
Roll call vote for Resolution 29-2024. Commissioner Faur,
Aye.
Commissioner Bolos?
Aye.
Chair Harvey?
Aye, motion carries. Thank you, Ms. Skeen. Let's move now to item number 4, which is a request for approval of the resolution of the County Commissioners, Weber County appointing members to the Liberty Cemetery District. Go
All
ahead.
right. You've made the appointments to this board earlier this year, but they needed an additional member. I didn't have enough applications at the time, so I reposted according to state statute. You have 2 applications before you, Lonnie Martinez and Lori Price, and I'm just looking for a recommendation of one individual to fill their remaining vacancy on that board.
Great. 2 individuals, Lonnie Martinez and Lori Price. Okay, Commissioners' comments.
Mr. Chair, I'm ready to make a motion, whenever you're ready.
Okay,
So we've had some discussions with the Liberty Board. They suggested Lonnie Martinez is one that they would, had some discussions, would like on that, so I would like to make the nomination Lonnie Martinez to the Liberty Cemetery District Board.
for the motion?
Second.
Motion and a second, great. I'll place that motion for vote, which would be Resolution 30-2024. Mr. Brandt?
Roll call vote for Resolution 30-2024. Commissioner Faur,
Aye.
Commissioner Bolos?
Aye.
Chair Harvey?
Aye, motion carries. Thank you, Ms.
Thank you.
Skeen, very much. Item number 5 is a request for approval of an ordinance, the Weber County Commissioners, amending Title 16, Chapter 8 of the Weber County Code of Ordinances, governing impact fees and adopting an updated Trails Impact Fee Facilities Plan. Go ahead.
Good morning, Commissioners. Yeah, what you have before you is this is just going to be the first reading, bringing the Trail Impact Fee Facilities Plan and fee analysis before you. So we've hired Zion's Public Finance to go through and kind of update our impact fees. We've got the trails here pretty much done, bringing it before you for the first reading. Shortly following, we'll probably have the roads, storm drain and sewer coming here in the near future. So right now, Charlie Ewert's really worked with Science quite a bit on updating our facilities plan and getting the analysis going. And so with that, it brings the amount of the fee. Our current impact fee for the trails is $13.50, and what we're looking, or what we have the ability of raising it up to, is $2,886.21. So pretty much an increase of about $1,536 of an increase to our trail impact fees. So we'll be able to get out and get more of our trails extended to more areas. And if there's any questions that you have for me, or if we're on the plan, Charlie's here, hopefully to help me answer any questions on the plan and how that was created. So.
Great. Commissioners, questions for Mr. Meyerhofer?
None.
None for me.
This is a first reading, so if I'm correct, we will not need to exercise the resolution number at this time. Is that correct? Correct. Super. Very good.
Great, appreciate it, and we'll bring the final reading before you next week.
Thank you very much.
All right, thanks, Commissioners.
Great. Mr. Wade, if you'd make your way forward. This is a request for approval of a contract by and between Weber County and Weber Basin Water Conservancy District for the 12th Street roadway project. Tucker Wade. We need an action on the first reading?
Motion, just not a final reading of the ordinance. So a motion to accept the first reading.
Great. Thank you very much for keeping us safe. Motion to, I'll entertain a motion. Let's go back then. My error. Motion G5, looking for motion to accept the first reading.
Move to approve the first reading of the ordinance amending Title 16, Chapter 8, as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for that first reading. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you. Now, Mr. Waite, we already read that thing. Go ahead
Yeah.
for that 12th Street roadway project.
So this is an interlocal agreement with Weber Basin Water for our 12th Street project. We had in the past an agreement with Weber Basin, but it's kind of out of date and a few other things. So we worked together with Cortland and Weber Basin to put this new agreement that's more applicable to this section or this phase of 12th Street together. It does a couple things. One, it gives us the ability to just hire one contractor and we will manage the contract for us and Weber Basin. That's probably one of the more important things is just to have one contractor out there. It kind of makes things easier, so we're not having different contractors step on each other's toes. The other part is there's a cost share agreement with us and Weber Basin. So with us doing this project, we we impact their line a little bit, and just benefits us and Weber Basin to kind of share this cost of it. So our cost is just to replace what would be what's existing now, which is a 16-inch water line. So our cost or share will be 1.5, just almost 1.6 million, and then their cost obviously will be more than that because they're upsizing the line to be able to handle much more water out there. So,
Mr. Wade,
yes,
are you suggesting that governmental agencies work together?
just once, right now. It's probably because of me, but you know.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah. Any questions you have, I'm more than happy.
Commissioner Froer, in your portfolio, I'll go to you first.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chair. So this contract was actually approved by Weber Basin Board last Thursday. Just to be clear, this is a total project cost is about 5-point-some million to upgrade from a 16-inch, the original pipe that was put in there back years ago, upgrade to a 30-inch, I believe is.
Yeah, it's bigger than that, I think,
Is it?
36. Yeah.
Whatever
I think.
it is.
I can't
Large
remember. It's
pipe,
somewhere
which-
on there, yeah.
So anyway, all we're doing is Weber County would be absorbing the cost to replace as if it was a 16-inch. Weber Basin's taking the additional 4-point-some million. It's a huge benefit out there to that whole industrial area, the residential, as we look forward to the inland port developing over the next 20, 30, 40 years. It's with the road construction going on, now's the time to do it.
Yeah. Wonderful.
So
Yeah, thank you. I remember Villa mentioned that they had agreed to it. So we don't have a signed copy from them yet, but I'll get it from them to either today or tomorrow, and then
Yeah.
we'll get it.
yeah, it's
figured
there.
out, So,
Okay.
Mhm.
So with that, Mr. Chair, I'd be happy to make a motion whenever you're ready.
One moment. Commissioner Bolus. No, go ahead, Commissioner Froer.
So I would move to approve the contract by between Weber County and Weber Basin Water Conservation District for the 12th Street roadway project.
Second.
Motion and a second. I'll place that motion for vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you very
Thank
much, Mr. White. Commissioners, we'll turn to you. This is a request for approval of a resolution of the Board of County Commissioners approving the submission of an opinion question to the residents of Weber County as to whether or not 0.1% sales tax on qualifying purchases to fund botanical, cultural, recreational, and zoological organizations facilities known as RAMP should be renewed for additional 10 years. We also want to thank Mr. Kevin Burns for joining us, who serves very diligently on that committee. Commissioners, go ahead. Comments pertaining to that?
Well, I think that we've seen over the last 20 years exactly what RAMP can do, and it seems like every time we turn around, there's another event that we have a ribbon cutting or a performance of some kind that we're invited to as we celebrate what RAMP has helped to fund, and so I would love to see this back on the ballot.
Mr. Farrar?
Yeah, I would, obviously agree with that, and really, this is just an opinion question, is it not?
It is?
So, and it's, I don't think that there's very many mayors in this county that would not think that RAMP has benefited their individual communities to a great extent. So I'm totally in support of this.
Every organization, every municipality in Weber County over the last several years. And Ernie, you're also on that with us too. Thank you for being here.
You got Kevin in the back.
That's noted, Kevin, already, yeah. So we appreciate the service you give, and I would agree with the two of you that I think it absolutely should be given a chance for the opinion question to be heard by the residents. And so with that, I think I'll make it formal. This is a question on whether we should review it for another 10 years. I'll place that as a question of if either of you would like to make a motion.
Yeah, it looks like we've got a resolution, so.
Well,
It is a
it
resolution.
is a resolution.
I'll
And
move,
it is G7. Thank you. 31 deck, thank you.
move to approve Resolution 31-2024.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Place that motion for vote. Mr. Brandt?
Roll call vote for Resolution 31-2024. Commissioner Farrar?
Aye.
Commissioner Bolos?
Aye.
Chair Harvey?
Aye, motion carries. Thank you. Comments, item number H.
Just happy birthday.
Thank you.
I hope you have the happiest day.
Well, thank you. I hope that'd be nice. So far, it's already there.
You're there.
And welcome back.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Mr. Farrar?
I'll second that. Happy birthday and good to have you back here.
Thank you. Nice to be back. We'll adjourn this meeting and look for a motion for adjournment.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We're adjourned.